True lovers, ever feel like finding your soulmate is like waiting for a spiritual Amazon delivery that got rerouted through every lifetime you've ever had? Like, oh great, my person is stuck in 14th century Mongolia again. Classic. Hi, I'm Haim with Beloved Media, and today we'll chat about the juncture between the wisdom of the Tao Te Ching and your love life, verse 24. I'm passionate about bringing ancient insights into the chaotic dating swirl we're all swimming in, ideally without drowning or texting your ex. If you stick around till the end of this video, I promise to gift you 3 practical tips for your dating life based on this verse 24. So I'm sure some of you by now know my story. 3 failed marriages, 3 heartbreaking divorces, 1 amazing child that came out of it and gave me the gift of parenting, which I will forever be grateful for. But when I was 18, 19, 20, or 25, did I imagine that I will make so many awkward mistakes? Call it, instead of mistakes, learning lessons, learning opportunities. Fine. Nonetheless, it was painful. Did I have to marry every girl that was not right for me until I met my ultimate soulmate and best friend, Rachel, who I'm married to now? Until I was gifted the gift of healthy marriage, healthy relationship, or as I like to call it, true love relationship, versus all the false love relationships. Did I have to go through it? Apparently, according to my karma, yes. According to what Kabbalah calls correction or tikkun, yes, I had to go through it to learn my lessons. But does that mean that every single one of you has to? No. Maybe if you hear some kind of a nugget from the Tao Te Ching, maybe that will spark something within you to go on a journey of doing your shadow work, becoming a better person, thus attracting a better person on the other side and having a better relationship. Never mind the ultimate soulmate relationship. That is my wish for you. I have gotten that, but only after I went through 3 heartbreaking relationships that were not necessary when I looked in hindsight. And yes, hindsight is 2020, but nonetheless, there were plenty of red flags. It's not like there weren't any red flags. I could have noticed them. I could have chosen to do something with them. In certain cases, somebody even told me, don't do it. And I did it anyway. Why? Desperation, loneliness, inability to be with oneself, inability to be alone and appreciate the aloneness in it and viewing it as painful loneliness, and a lot of lack of self-love, I know now. But there is another way. So, before we dive in, true lovers, subscribe, like, and give this video some be-love so we can keep bringing spiritual sauce to your soul-seeking journey. So let's turn to verse 24 of the Tao Te Ching, translated by Stephen Mitchell. Thanks, Stephen. Open quote. He who stands on tiptoe doesn't stand firm. He who rushes ahead doesn't go far. He who tries to shine dims his own light. He who defines himself cannot know who he really is. He who has power over others cannot empower himself. He who clings to his work will create nothing that endures. Close quote. So here are 5 insights and dating applications from verse 24. Number 1, he who stands on tiptoe doesn't stand firm. What does that mean? When you're constantly stretching to impress someone, you're not grounded in your authentic self. In love, seek a partner who makes you feel rooted, not like you're performing a TikTok dance on a tightrope. Now, I have plenty of examples, as you can imagine. One of them is my own act of mindlessness, lack of mindfulness. So when I was in a relationship and married to all those women, one of the things that was really important for me is to look good. in their eyes, to look good in their mother's eyes, my parents-in-laws, and my in-laws. And how that would look like is we would have dinner together as a family in my previous relationships, and time to do the dishes, and I jump out of my seat and I'm like, I'll do the dishes. Now, is that a nice thing to do? Absolutely. Is that viewed favorably by your in-laws, who wouldn't look at it favorably? But what was I coming from when I was jumping to volunteer to do the dishes, right? Or any other chore that was going around when I was around in their house? It was an inauthentic desire to be validated by her parents. So even though the act was positive, right? I'm just helping with the dishes. What's wrong with that? Somebody's got to do it, and it shouldn't be the hostess all the time, right? But what was it coming from? Did I have the ability to let somebody else do it at times? No, because I would miss out an opportunity to be validated. So you see, that's the ugly truth of life. When you do something positive, but you're not coming into it from a positive emotion, meaning desire to be validated is not a positive emotion. It's a childish, immature desire. We all have it. We just have to be aware of it and not let it control us. But if I do something nice out of the right emotion, then it's authentic and it's sustainable. It's not meant to impress anybody. It's because you genuinely think that it's not cool that the hostess will do all the work, or that the same person will volunteer all the time. You can jump in too. So the ability to say no is just as important as the ability to say yes when it's done within balance. Number 2, he who rushes ahead doesn't go far. Close quote. If your Hinge bio says, let's elope next week, take a breath, true lover. Love isn't a race. A partner worth growing with will honor the slow unfolding, not the fast forward fantasy. You want an example? Haim has it. Here's an example. My last wife, my previous wife, the mother of my child, who gifted me that beautiful gift of parenting. We at the time just started dating. This was roughly 2009, and we were only couple of months together as an item. She lived with her roommates. I lived with my roommates at the time in Orange County, California, and both of us weren't on good terms with our roommates. All kind of stuff was starting to happen there. And yes, it probably was time for both of us to move out of our places into another place. But should we move in together after 2 or 3 months together? Hell no. Now, is that appropriate sometimes? Absolutely. But you gotta look into it, right? You gotta do it mindfully. We had a conversation 2 months into the relationship with lots of red flags that I wasn't able to process at the time. But nonetheless, there were red flags. And I actually initiated that conversation obviously out of desperation to be with her, desperation to start a family, desperation not to be alone. And I said, what do you think about this? Because you have this issue and I have that issue. Maybe we should do it together. And sure enough, we moved in together within 2-3 months of knowing each other. We ended up getting married a year later. Was that all wise? Was that all smart? Was that mindful? Hell no, it wasn't mindful. Now, was it part of my karma? Yes. Is it something I had to go through? Unfortunately. But was it wise? Was it mindful? No, it wasn't. Now, fast forward a decade and a half. I get to know my beloved Rachel, and literally a couple of weeks into it, we see all the green flags in this case. Oh my God, there is wonderful connection here. And I ask her, would you consider coming to San Diego so we can meet each other in person and give this relationship a chance? She was 6,000-7,000 miles away, taking care of some family business. And she said, let me think about it. She thought about it. She got back to me and she said, yes, I see something very special here. And yes, I want to give it a go. But you have to give me 100 days. And I'm like, no problem, but how come? And she said, well, as you know, I just lost my father, and we have this thing in our culture, in her culture, she's Malaysian Chinese, we have a thing with giving 3 months or 100 days when somebody from the family passes away to honor the family, to honor their memory. And I immediately said, of course, yes, absolutely, I get it, no problem. And I supported it. There was no question. I didn't give up on the relationship and went to find somebody closer or somebody more available. No, I was like, yeah, she needs time. Who wouldn't? That was the mature approach that this verse is talking about. Take a breath. Love isn't a race. A partner worth growing with will honor the slow unfolding, not the fast forward fantasy. Number 3, he who tries to shine dims his own light. Trying too hard to be liked or admired often dims your natural glow. Look for someone who radiates quiet confidence, not blinding ego. And don't be the sun that burns. Be the moon that reflects mystery and calm. Enough said. Number 4, he who defines himself can't know who he really is. Labels like I'm a hopeless romantic or I only date creatives box you in. Choose a partner open to change and discovery, and stay curious about yourself too. Example in this regard would be, up until I met my Rachel, I was determined most of the time, most of my life, to be with somebody from my culture. I happen to be Jewish who grew up in Israel, and I figured I can only create a strong relationship, a lasting relationship with somebody from similar background, either Jewish, American Jewish, Israeli Jewish, whatnot. And that didn't work out, did it? Now, does that mean that it can't work? No, of course not. There's plenty of couples, most couples maybe, who come from the same culture, come from the same heritage, come from the same background. Some of them grew up in the same town. Yeah, of course. But it's worth thinking, what if, in my case, what if I'm open to meet somebody from another culture, not from my culture, as long as our values match, our core values match, versus being with somebody from my culture where our core values don't match. That's when I open up to the possibility of marrying, or I should say of in meeting somebody, dating somebody from outside my culture. And I met Rachel. We cannot possibly be of different background. However, we both were excited, passionate, and saw Chinese wisdom and ancient wisdom, certain ancient wisdoms, as our core values. This fusion of Kabbalistic Jewish wisdom, mysticism with Tao Te Ching or Taoism, certain elements of the Taoism, and Buddhism, for both of us, were very powerful, and we recognize the value, and we realize we want to live our life based on that light. Worked out tremendously. Several years later, best relationship I've ever had, fantastic relationship period, and how we get along and how we're aligned with our values and how we view our future together. My past Buddhist coach used to tell me, how you know you found the right person, before I met Rachel, how you know you found the right person is that you don't only look into each other's eyes like two in love puppies, but you also look forward in the same direction. And what that meant to me is that we have similar spiritual view, similar purpose of our life together. That lasts, that endures. Number 5, he who clings to his work will create nothing that endures. If someone is more married to their grind, to their job, than the present moment with you, true lover, it might be a red flag, not just a red-eye flight. Love thrives when both people prioritize presence over performance. Listen, both me and Rachel appreciate our jobs. We find a way to express ourselves through our jobs. However, we prioritize family first. So when we're together, the phone is not there. When we're together, spending quality time with each other. We're not doing work. Sometimes we'll work together or we'll work separately in the same room. But that's a designated time for that. Otherwise, we are with each other. We are present to each other. We are listening to each other's stories. We ask interesting questions, meaningful questions to show that we understood each other's point or to make sure we understand each other's point. Presence over performance. 3 practical tips as promised based on verse 24 for your dating life. Number 1, practice grounded presence before a date. Literally, feel your feet on the ground. Remind yourself you don't need to stand on tiptoe to be worthy of love. Number 2, pause the pursuit. Let go of the need to make it happen. The Tao moves effortlessly. Trust that the right connections unfold naturally. Don't worry about getting that second date. Enjoy the date. Don't worry about whether or not this is your person. Enjoy the experience. Don't worry about whether you're gonna get laid, to be blunt. Enjoy the ability of having an awesome conversation with them, and make sure your date enjoys themselves, not just you. Number 3, let go of over-labeling. Instead of chasing a type, try dating someone who surprises your expectations. Openness invites the Tao to do its magic. So true lovers, if this video helped you feel 1% less crazy on your romantic path, or at least made you laugh while you're questioning your last situationships, like, comment, share, and subscribe to Be a Love Media. Let's keep growing together with fewer red flags and more red candles. Until next time, stay grounded, stay curious, and remember, your soulmate might just be late because they're still reading the Tao Te Ching in a coffee shop somewhere. Peace, love, and be loved.